Hey, Tiffany here. Let's talk about what you can do to increase your sales and the real reason that people buy and make their purchasing decisions. Not to overcomplicate it or complicate it at all, but to really just have a discussion about this. What drives people to buy? Most times, as an independent business owner, as a solopreneur, you're consumed in all the things that you have to do in the tasks and hats that you're currently wearing, right? The tasks that you have to complete. And so when it comes to connecting with people and securing more clients, the stream may not always be flowing. So why is that? How can you get there? And I'm just going to share from my learned experience and also some things that we know to be true. And a mistake that I have made more times than I really want to share. But I've made this mistake, and you might be making the same mistake, and that's why this conversation is for you. As a business owner, you like information, you like to be a solution. If you don't know the answer, you're going to find the answer, you're going to figure it out. What happens with the consumer is they're not doing all of that work. So you and I, we like to share, for example, content that's going to educate and help. And we spend so much time in doing that. But understand this, your buyer does not care about information. And you can be the best at what you do, but someone who knows less than you or who may not be as experienced as you could get more clients and probably has more clients because they're doing this one thing. They understand or they have mastered or they are better at influencing. Most times we approach our business content, we just have this posture of information, giving information, but it's not information that's going to convert your clients. It is influence. Okay. It is influence. And my screen seems so funky right now. I don't know if I should be looking up here or I don't know. So understand that it's not about people knowing, okay, but people buy what they trust. So here's what I mean. We know that we should drink water, but what leads someone to drink water? We know that we should exercise, but what really leads people to go and exercise? People may understand what you do, but what's going to make them purchase your services? Okay, buy your services, purchase your products. They have to have some type of trust. They know that what you do is important, right? So it's not information that you want to be giving. You want action, you want buy-in. So I'm going to give you some points to consider, all right? What I want you to think about, how are you giving your information? Can people trust what you're saying? Do they understand what you say? Do they understand clearly what you do? They may have a concept, but they need to have more than just an idea of what you do. They need to be like secure to where they can tell someone else what you do. Clearly, not have an idea, not have an assumption, but they are true in what it is that you do and how it will help them. So I can think that, oh, what you have is great, but what does it matter to me at this point in time in my life, at this point in time in my business? So go back and look at your messaging, your posts, your communications, and ask yourself, are you being clear about that? And can people see themselves in your story? So when it comes to your content, you want to diversify and not just give hard facts and information because honestly, when we get on social media, do we really get on social media to learn? It's really a distraction. It's really we like to be entertained. What are you doing to stop the scroll? So we're not just always logging on to learn hardcore facts. Okay. Now, should you stay away from educational content? Absolutely not. Especially if your audience does come to you for that. There are some platforms that I know I can go to and I'm going to get hardcore tips and information. That's how they built their platform. That's what I'm used to. Okay. But they also have that influence factor because they have reeled me into their content to where I see myself in their story, so to say. I see myself in the experiences that they're talking about. So, how are you doing that? Are you speaking the language of the people that you serve? Are you appealing to their emotions? All right. The second thing that I want you to consider is this: understand that your consumers don't always buy the best option. Okay. Let's say when you are at the store and you're looking for a barbecue sauce. There are many barbecue sauces, and you probably did not choose the best barbecue sauce, but you chose the barbecue sauce that was accessible. You chose a barbecue sauce that made sense. It didn't have this funky, special, unique name that you could barely pronounce. Um, Maybe you've heard about this barbecue sauce from someone else, so you have some type of credibility. It was referred to you. So, same thing with your business. What makes you the company that stands out? What makes consumers understand who you are, what you do? Are you accessible? Um, and can they trust you? Can they build confidence that you will help them before they even talk to you? There are some brands that you won't dare mess with. There are some stores that you won't even go into because you don't even like the parking lot of the store, or you don't like the experience that you go through in that store. Same thing with your business, okay? Um, Next, I have my notes over here. Next thing I want you to consider is understand that influence is built through repetition. I don't want you to ever get tired of doing what you do. I don't want you to ever get tired of saying things over and over again. You do what you do every day, but someone is coming across your content who is new every day. One of my reads this month is Stolen Focus by Jonathan Hari. This book was published when? I don't know. It's not a new book though. Have you read Stolen Focus? Let me know. Um, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is one of the books on my list for this month. And the books that I'm currently reading, all of them except one, Score by Kennedy Ryan, have previously been published. But this is the book that I'm reading this month. And I was saying to myself, like, these are books that were published in 2024, 23, some before that, and they're new to me. Every day, you are new to someone. So you want to ensure that you never get tired of thinking, well, my audience already saw that. They heard that. Oh, no. It takes people on average at least 3 times to see your content. Let's if we're talking about social media digital content. It takes them about 3 to 4 times to even pay attention to you, to even start considering you, right? So you gotta and that's not just you posting 3 to 4 times, but that's them coming across your content on their news feed at least 3 to 4 times because we know that every time you post, people are not seeing every single post. So it takes them some time to even consider. It takes them some time to even consider doing business with you. So I don't want you to ever feel like you're repeating yourself. No, you start to build your influence again when people can start to repeat what you say, when they can walk into a room and tell somebody else what it is that you do, when they can start quoting your favorite lines and your slogan and your tagline. That's how you know that you are building a connection and building a relationship. And again, having influence, building influence is not about knowing the most or being the best. It's about having influence, okay? And again, you're not manipulating them, you're just building trust. And it's also builds comfort, it builds comfort. Next, I want you to understand that building your influence is also emotional. You have to think about what your potential clients, what your ideal clients are experiencing emotionally. And you need to target that. You need to think about that. You need to understand how they're feeling in the morning, evening, night, weekend. How is your ideal client feeling on a Sunday evening, right? Drive your content and even schedule your content around that. Your messaging needs to hit them where they can feel it. What are they thinking, right? How are they feeling? What emotions are they experiencing? That's how you also build influence because you're building connection. You are showing that there's a human behind the brand and you truly care about them. And if you could talk about what they're experiencing, they now grow to trust you. So it's not just, again, giving out information and facts and statistics and quotes that are, no, you need to start thinking about how you can influence them by connecting with them by way of what they are experiencing emotionally. Okay. Does that make sense? Um, and I also wrote down that most times when we buy things, it's not a logical decision. What happens is most of our purchasing decisions are emotional, and then we try to justify it later. Case in point, there is a binder that I want, and the binder is like $37. It's a spiral notebook slash binder. And let me tell you, I've added it to my cart. I've even found a $5 coupon. I literally was just going to hit buy. But most times we do not think logically when we make our purchasing decisions. It's most of our purchasing decisions are emotional, and then later we think about it. Later we justify it. Let's say that you're shopping and Amazon rolls up to your house, whatever. You have a delivery from whatever company, and your spouse is like, another delivery. You're sitting there to justify it, okay? When you bought it, it was highly emotional. Maybe it was late night scrolling. Maybe it was a deal that popped up. Maybe it was an ad that you scrolled by. We don't really put much thought when we make purchasing decisions. So think about that. People buy with their emotions, all right? And I want you to understand that this relates to your systems because I always say, marketing reels people in, systems make them stay. And you want to make sure that as you're building your influence, you are also set up on the back end so that it doesn't look like you lied to them. It doesn't look like you manipulated. You don't want to just show up on the front end as if you have it all together. Then on the back end, there's nothing there. And that typically happens, is nothing to beat yourself up about, but just, be aware that, wow, I need to tighten up, my lead management. I need to get my online booking together. I need to have a more seamless approach to, my forms and my documents. I need more things on automation. I should not have my hand on every single part of my business. I'm on vacation, but I'm still responding to emails. I still have clients needing things. I have 5 outstanding invoices. I need to send these. Like, I'm tired just listing it all. So as you build your influence, you want to make sure that you have the structure on the back end to maintain it. Because the last thing that you want is to hit a peak and then people are disappointed because of what they experience. It's like seeing that restaurant online. They have the best photos. They have the best photos. And then you get there to the restaurant and it's not even worth the experience. Like, oh, the food was bland, the parking was bad, the service was terrible, right? And there are times where we will disappoint clients, or you have disappointed a client, and it's just, a learning lesson, and we evolve. But understand that we all need to work on building our influence. People, that's what's working. Okay. Not so much as dishing out information. Honestly, people are on information overload. And one thing to also understand with building influence is show yourself as a solution and how you can be the solution quickly. Quickly. People need quick results. And quick will look different in many different capacities. Like if you are a physical trainer, you're not going to say, I can help you lose weight. in 50 pounds in 1 week. Right, that will not be healthy. But you want to show like how weight loss or how health could be a substantial goal, or how you can help them experience an easy win. I can help you, increase your steps by 3,000 in 1 week. And if you increase your steps, if you take 3,000 extra steps each week, that's this amount of steps every month. And that leads to this, like help people see and visualize the success that they will have with you. That's influence. And that's what people don't mind paying for. So it's not so much just giving out information. We're not in the business. Your consumer does it. They're not really shopping for who's the smartest they're not doing that, right? And honestly, by the time that they have scheduled a consultation with you, they've done most of their homework. You will find that people who want to do business with you and want to move forward, they are not the ones that are liking every post. There's nothing wrong with that, but they need a solution. They found how to contact you, they found your link, and they moved forward, right? So think about this the next time that you post, as you work on your content, as you work on your messaging, position yourself to influence. That's how you're going to get the attention and the traffic you need. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you need to position yourself to help the people that you are called to help, right? So, influence over information. Have some fun with your digital approach. Have some clarity in your messaging, and understand that as you build your influence, you want to also make sure that you're structured to have the capacity to handle all the business that's coming your way.